In the heart of a state in the southeastern part of Nigeria, between rolling hills and fertile farmlands, there lived a proud and wealthy merchant named Okonkwo. His wealth was unrivaled in the village of Umuokirika, and he was known far and wide for his vast stores of yam, palm oil, and cloth. People often sought his help, but Okonkwo was a man who believed that only those who could match his prosperity deserved kindness. He would not share his wealth freely, nor did he offer help to those in need unless they could prove themselves worthy. In the same village lived a humble widow named Nneka. She was poor, but her heart was full of warmth and compassion. Nneka had 2 children, and though they had little, they always found joy in what they had. She would often give away whatever she had left to her neighbors in times of need, for she believed that kindness was the true wealth of the soul. However, life had not been kind to her. Her husband had died young, leaving her to fend for herself in a world that was often indifferent to women without husbands. One rainy evening, as the village gathered around their fires to tell stories and prepare for sleep, a rumor spread that Okonkwo was planning a great feast to celebrate the harvest. His barns were full, and he would invite only the richest and most powerful people to partake in the feast. The villagers whispered, "This will be the grandest feast Umuokirika has ever seen." Nneka, who was sitting by her fire, listened to the whispers. She had nothing to give, but she longed to see her children happy, even for just a moment. So, she made a plan. She knew that she had no chance of receiving an invitation, but perhaps she could offer something to Okonkwo in exchange for a place at his table. She went into her small, humble garden and picked the last of her yams, the ones she had been saving for the coming year. These yams were her prized possession. The next morning, before dawn, Nneka set out for Okonkwo's compound. She walked slowly, her heart pounding with both hope and fear. As she reached Okonkwo's compound, the gatekeeper, a young boy, stopped her. "Where are you going, woman?" he asked, eyeing her ragged clothes. "I come to offer a gift to Okonkwo, the great merchant, in the hope that he will let my children and me join his feast," she replied, holding out the yams, carefully wrapped in palm leaves. The gatekeeper laughed. "Okonkwo does not eat food from the hands of poor women like you. Go away before you bring shame to yourself." Nneka's heart sank, but she refused to turn back. She knew that the yams were all she had left, and if this was to be the last chance for a little joy for her children, she would not give up. She insisted, "Please, tell Okonkwo that Nneka the widow has come with a gift. A gift from the heart." The gatekeeper, still skeptical, went inside to relay the message. Okonkwo, who was lounging in his grand house surrounded by his wealth, heard the name Nneka and paused. He remembered her kind heart, her willingness to help others even when she had little to give. But he quickly dismissed any thought of kindness. Why should he waste his precious food on a poor widow? "Let her in," he ordered, rolling his eyes. "I will see what nonsense she has brought." When Nneka entered his house, she bowed low before Okonkwo. "I bring you a gift, O great one," she said, her voice trembling. "It is all I have left, but I offer it with a heart full of gratitude. Please allow my children and me to sit with you and eat. We have known hardship, but we still have love to give." Okonkwo stared at her, his face a mask of indifference. He looked at the bundle of yams she had brought. They were small and humble, not like the grand feast he was accustomed to. Yet something stirred in him, something he could not ignore. "Why do you offer me this gift?" he asked, his voice rough. "You have nothing. Why should I accept this?" Nneka stood straight, her heart pounding. "Because, great Okonkwo, I believe that kindness should not be measured by the size of the gift, but by the love and the spirit with which it is given. If you accept my gift, I ask only for a place at your table so that my children may know the joy of a feast, even if just for one day." Okonkwo sat silently for a long moment. The room seemed to hold its breath. He could hear the sounds of laughter and chatter from his family and friends outside, but in that moment, all he could hear was Nneka's words. Kindness should not be measured by the size of the gift. Finally, he rose. "You are a woman of great courage and heart," he said. "Though I do not know why you would come to me with such a humble offering, I will accept it." Nneka's eyes brightened. "Thank you, great Okonkwo," You have made a mother's heart rejoice. Okonkwo clapped his hands, summoning his servants. Prepare a feast for Nneka and her children. Let them sit with us, for today, kindness is the greatest wealth in this house. The servants scurried to follow his orders, and a grand table was set for Nneka and her children. Okonkwo, who had once been indifferent to the suffering of others, found himself moved by Nneka's humility and strength. As the feast began, Okonkwo found himself laughing and talking with the widow and her children as if they were long-lost friends. For the first time in many years, he felt a warmth in his heart that was not born of wealth or power, but of something deeper, something pure. As the night wore on, the villagers came to see what was happening at Okonkwo's compound. They were amazed to see Nneka, once a poor widow, sitting among the most powerful people in the village, sharing in the feast. The story of Okonkwo's unexpected act of kindness spread quickly, and soon, people from all corners of Umuokirika were talking about it. From that day forward, Okonkwo became known not just for his wealth, but for his generosity. He began to share his wealth with those in need, understanding that kindness was not just about what one could give, but about the heart behind the gift. And Nneka, with her 2 children, continued to live in the village, her heart still full of warmth, knowing that even in the darkest of times, an unexpected act of kindness could change the world. And so, the people of Umuokirika learned an important lesson, that kindness, no matter how small, has the power to heal and transform, even the most hardened heart. The end. Moral: the story teaches that true wealth is not in material possessions, but in the kindness and love we share with others. A small act of kindness, no matter how humble, can change lives and heal hearts, even those that seem beyond repair. Kindly like, subscribe and comment.